Beelzebub vs Satan, Nostradamus vs primordial Odin, Zeus fighting alongside Buddha with humanity. This is the all-out war that will be at the end of the Ragnarok series. The 4 Yggdrasil who decided to massacre the other gods, and the 7 other primordials on their side, being unsealed, resurrected in the current day, where all the realms of Ragnarok are in danger of destruction. Alright boys, before you call me delusional, listen closely as I'm about to cook like never before. Over the last few rounds and years of chapters, we have been fully revealed to the underlying plot of the Ragnarok story, how it's more than a simple tournament where humanity is fighting for their survival against the gods. For example, this is Odin, and this, even that, yeah, all these are Odin in Ragnarok. I call him the main and true villain of this series, and his goal is simple. He wants to destroy, what you may be asking? Everyone. Humanity, the other gods, the universe, and everything else. He wields this divine weapon, the legendary demon spear Gungnir, the primordial sword Gram, the bracelet, helmet, and necklace worn by fellow primordial god pillars Ymir, Chaos, and Satan. So right at the start of the series, chapter 1, we see Odin looking at Brynhilda menacingly. This is right after she objected the destruction of humanity and began introducing the Ragnarok tournament outlined in the Valhalla Constitution. But all the talk throughout the chapter is only from his birds, which eventually brings us to the start of round 5, the introduction of Buddha and the Lucky Gods, where we get the first big moment from Odin in the series. This is when him and Zeus arrive to stop the group battle between Team Buddha and Team Loki, where we have his insane pressure appearing for the first time, pretty much telling everyone to pack it up. The Lucky Gods are fearful, the Shinsengumi are scared and worried, Loki loses interest right away, and even the Mad Lad Buddha begins taking his leave, of course after having a goated interaction with Zeus. Then the 2 supreme gods remained, where Zeus says to Odin, "Sheesh, quite a troublesome man." That being said, this Ragnarok isn't quite going as expected, a Norseman, before taking his leave as well to watch the current fight between Shiva and Raiden, where we see Odin alone in this flower garden, beginning to crash out or reveal his true sinister nature, an evil smile as the flowers begin to wither away. But the main aspect I want you guys to focus on is Zeus's interaction with Odin here, perhaps foreshadowing for a future fight I'm going to break down later on. Up next is the other key player for this theory, the dragon slaying hero himself. Deep within Tartarus, we see 2 guards talking about Beelzebub's round 8 victory, which is overheard by Siegfried within his cell, being shocked that the scores are 4 wins to both sides at that time, resulting in the guards to question him on who he's rooting for, the gods or humans, considering he's a half human, half god, officially confirmed right here. But before he can answer, they take their leave as they aren't meant to be talking to him, where he notes that it's boring down here, and we see the insane extent he's actually chained up within Tartarus, but is more worried about Brynhilda, wanting her to take care of herself considering the insanity she's causing for the gods right now. Alongside the first time we actually officially see him in the story being in this chapter. Bringing us to the next time Siegfried is brought up, once again by Buddha, this time him confronting the likes of Odin. This is in chapter 85 with Detective Buddha asking Odin who the heck is Siegfried, and mentioning that Kentoki found out that he's being locked down in Tartarus by the official order of Odin himself, and for the following reason, which doesn't make sense considering the severity of his punishment, that being stealing Odin's magic sword and killing his favorite dragon Fafnir. revealing to us that Tartarus is more so used for those who did rebellion against Valhalla or the assassination of major gods, something nowhere close to the crimes apparently committed by Siegfried. And on top of that, if he did piss off Odin to such an extent, it's more likely the case that Odin would just eliminate him, kill him, something that would be very easy for Odin to do considering his position in the story, resulting in Buddha to be very suspicious with what's going on, coming to this conclusion. Since Brynhilda is Siegfried's lover, and Brynhilda started Ragnarok in order to save humanity, it's likely the case that she also started it to save her beloved Siegfried. But now we have answers for everything that's going on with Siegfried, Brynhilda, and of course this wild god. But before that, we learn from Kintoki that entering Tartarus isn't really possible as the guards will not allow it, resulting in these three, who I guess are now close friends, likely trying to break in to learn more themselves, something that's just hinted at in this panel but will likely be explored in the future of Record of Ragnarok. With us seeing Brynhilda alone again after round 10 finished, struggling to decide a human fighter for round 11, and claiming to herself, just a bit more, and I can see you again, Siegfried, highlighting that her true goal is indeed this. But all the wild reveals occur as we see Nostradamus kidnap Go and take her directly to Siegfried in Tartarus, having the ability to stroll through without the guards stopping him to any degree, alongside wielding this item, where he refers to Siegfried as his friend and that he is the one who wanted to see Go. So let's first address what's going on with Nostradamus. We are told that he's actually Siegfried's doctor, directly appointed to by Odin, but Sig himself claims, no matter what happens, Lord Odin cannot allow me to die, connecting to Odin's ultimate goal, which I'll be going over very shortly. But he first says to Go the reason he wanted to talk to her is that I need to borrow your strength in order to stop the revival of the primordial gods, where currently he has found all the other treasures but doesn't have the means to undo the seal and bring them back. This is because two other things are required. The first is the water of life and the second is the primordial vessel. The water of life is revealed to be the life energy of all humans, something that will be gained if the gods win the Record of Ragnarok tournament. And the second one, the vessel, is this: a god who receives the ruins of the Yggdrasil contained within the four treasures of calamity and the water of life, which is the life energy of all humans, will become a vessel achieving these two. He will gain the power to break the seal, the Yggdrasil will be released again, humanity will be gone, and they will continue the plan of taking out the lesser gods, destruction of Valhalla, and pretty much everyone. But to be considered a vessel, you have to be compatible with all four of the divine ruins, something Odin could not find for a long time. This includes himself until he officially found it. That is Siegfried himself. He is the one, for some unknown reason, that is compatible. With the situation around Odin finding him being incredible wacky as well. This is during Loki's flashback where we learned that he was actually in love with Brynhilda, trying everything in his power to make her laugh and smile, demonstrating his love for her. However, she did not feel the same way and eventually got with Siegfried, making Loki incredibly jealous and enraged. As such, he creates a plan so he can have Brynhilda for himself, transforming into Siegfried with one of his abilities, and killing Odin's dragon Fafnir. The official reason Siegfried is currently imprisoned in the story was actually Loki transformed as such, resulting in a scene where Brynhilde and Sig are invited to Odin's pretty much area within the Norse realm, thinking that they're going to be congratulated on their recent marriage. However, that is not the case. They are here to conduct punishment for the murder of Fafnir. Odin is enraged, resulting in the situation where the Norse god realizes that Siegfried has the potential to be the primordial god vessel. This is because the treasures within Odin's body begin reacting to Siegfried's aura or presence, resulting in Odin to punish him severely. Eternal imprisonment in Tartarus due to Odin having the authority as a supreme god. Being insanely lucky by this situation and what Loki has done, with no one, including Loki himself, being aware of exactly what happened here. Loki, after everything was done, still believed this was due to Fafnir being killed, not understanding anything about the primordial god lore and Odin's true goal throughout his entire life. Meaning, once the gods win, Odin will use the trapped Siegfried to 100% complete his plan. That's where we have Brynhilde arriving, who right now is trying to save humanity, save the gods, and Siegfried himself. Absolutely wild. Alright, so this post-tournament battle idea isn't a new theory at all. Ever since season 1 came out, which occurred around the same time of Buddha's betrayal of the gods in the manga, the theory has been mentioned across the community in various videos of mine as well, here on the Mysterious Weeb YouTube channel. Subscribe and hype the video, you legends. But now, a key reason I believe in it more than ever before is due to the reveals from Golnir in the recent flashback, also featuring the arrival of young Odin. For example, when the 77 primordials were fighting Odin and his boys, they stood no chance, with Golnir claiming, "With our strength, it's impossible to kill those 11. And so, weapons are useless," creating the method to seal them, which as we know was successful. Then later on, when his wife and fellow surviving primordials imprisoned Golnir, this is due to their conflicting ideas of what to do with the information about the Yggdrasil and the whole sealing situation, where Golnir said, "Don't misunderstand, sealing them is just letting us run away from fighting them. They're just waiting to break free of the seal. That fear, that truth, we must pass it down as a legacy of our failure. I believe in the distant future, someone to defeat them will appear." Meaning perhaps the current era of gods, or more so, the humans combined with the Valkyries, are the ones capable of defeating these evil primordial gods, the big bad of the past and current in the Ragnarok world. Odin literally wants to destroy everything, including all the gods we know in the Ragnarok story. This even includes fellow Norse gods like Thor, bringing us to a change of heart pretty much every god that has participated in the tournament has demonstrated after facing a human in combat. Whether it be people like Zeus now respecting their strength, who's literally, by the way, chilling with Brynhilde for the current Odin vs Kentucky fight. Thor, who had his own scene of praising the fellow warriors of Ragnarok as he stood against Odin and stopped him from fighting Buddha and Beelzebub. Two characters who will play major factors in the future and have already, seeming to be getting much closer. Shiva and Apollo now respecting humanity after they claimed victory. And to be honest, if another vote was to occur in Valhalla, humanity probably would end up surviving, I'm not gonna lie, particularly with these major gods having a change of heart. Leaving the question of who will fight in this war and how it will exactly occur. Let's say for the current round, Odin manages to defeat Kentucky, then we have round 13 where all of the insanity occurs. The resurrection of them should result in Siegfried being sacrificed, but maybe Odin himself sacrifices his current body to bring back the primordial state, where the matchups could be the following. I feel as though Nostradamus, with all the build up as the Joker of humanity and various other things I've broken down in videos like this, has to be a primary factor in the post Ragnarok story if he doesn't end up fighting, as my current prediction for round 13 is still Anubis vs Rasputin. So Nostradamus, with Gol as his Valkyrie fighting the resurrected primordial Odin, honestly would be absolutely sick and does connect to the original build up for Nostradamus, alongside his connection to current Odin as well. Of course, when it comes to the other Yggdrasil, the original Satan facing the current Satan Beelzebub and having more revealed about both of their stories is something I think everyone watching today's video would love to see. When it comes to Chaos and Ymir, that could be really anyone. At this point, I think it's safe to say Buddha is healed enough to fight again, so one of them versus Buddha is a high possibility. Let's say Buddha versus Ymir, bringing us a matchup for Chaos. Since Odin doesn't want to just destroy humanity, that's a stepping stone for them to destroy the gods, his original plan. Zeus will likely end up fighting as one of the most, if not the most important god in Ragnarok outside of Odin, a character we've actually seen at every age, and of course is having a primary role in the future of the canon side manga Apocalypse of the Gods as well, where he's likely to face and defeat the winner of that tournament, where Zeus could fight Chaos, something that would be absolutely sick, and him fighting alongside humanity, Buddha and all the others would be absolutely legendary. Or maybe we get that Zeus, the supreme god of Valhalla, versus Odin, the supreme creator god of the primordial era. That could be next level insanity as well. Now when it comes to the 7 other primordial gods on Odin's side who get resurrected, they could be facing some of the surviving humans. For example, Sasaki Kodro could fight again, Huang could make his grand return and fight again, we have Jack the Ripper, or maybe some victorious gods. We have Shiva, we have Apollo, we could finally see Hermes and Ares do something fighting wise, maybe some of the Apocalypse of the Gods characters playing a role in the main series, Sun Wukong fighting one of them. Honestly, anything can happen, and I feel as though all these flashbacks dedicated to the past long ago and all this build up for Odin, alongside the unsureness of what's going to happen in the current round and in the future, does in fact set up a post-Ragnarok battle, the real Ragnarok you could say, as it was kind of described in the flashbacks as well, to fully conclude the series where Odin, the big bad, is absolutely defeated, as Golnir is predicting for the future in the recent flashback as well. So absolute insanity is a possibility. I've mentioned a lot of this stuff in various videos over the years, but I thought it's a great time to make a fully dedicated one since all this new information just came out. That's it guys, watch these other videos, laters.